This video will contain spoilers. Um, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a bit late with this first one in particular. Although that is because I was sick yesterday and Monday. But I mean, I seen this on Friday or Saturday, so it not much of an excuse for this in particular. Anyway, Kill. Mixed ratings somehow. Let's be real, I don't know anyone in this cast. It was really good. I've never seen a Hindi film before. I've seen films that like take place in India and stuff like Monkey Man and I say Death Patel, but no, he's the that other film with Slumdog Millionaire. Um, but they're sort of Western films. They just take place in India. So it's my full actual Indian film. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't go into this expecting like the memes, but I didn't know that the things from the memes were like non Bollywood. I thought that's what Bollywood was. um, but yeah, this is a really good action film. It is. I mean, to Western, I don't know about over there, but to a Westerner, it's a bit generic. But I don't care because it's got really good action. It was also surprising that they killed the girl off, especially like in the middle of it. I wasn't expecting that. Although I think really like outright bad thing of this, well, not just something that they want to mention is that I feel like realistically the film could have lasted 15 minutes because it doesn't really. I get that there's like 40 guys that he's up against, but I feel like it was a bit forced to sort of separate them, which is what made the film so long. And it kind of reminds me of Train to Busan, because of how it's on a train and stuff like that. So that's always good. I I've played Yakuza Kiwami 2. The only thing is I forgot to do a review for it, and I'm like on chapter 5, so I'm gonna wait until I get to like chapter 7 or 8 to do the. I'll just do the beginning and middle reviews in one go. Anyway, Filth. Mixed ratings. Based on the book by Irving Welsh, starring James McAvoy, Jamie Bell, who his character. Right, this confused me. I think it was around the time that I watched Transpotting 2. I looked up Irving Welsh to see if he had any other books that got turned into films, and I found out that, one, he has a sort of like interconnected universe of his books, and two, he has that show Crime, which is about the character of Ray Lennox, and I find that weird that I get that the Filth film and the Crime show are unconnected, but just the fact that he would take a character who was, let's be honest, an absolute pussy in this, and make him the main character of that. I haven't seen the show. I'm going to assume that he's hardened, like a hardened detective, because I don't think it would fit with it being like a serious drama and he's a pussy. But anyway, image inputs, Jim Broadbent. Shirley Henderson, Joanne Frogart. Or whatever. Natasha O'Keefe, I didn't know that. It I get that it's, it's Irving Welsh and all, but I find it hard to get a grip on. Um, but I think that's more just me than the film, because to be honest, what I usually do is that I'll find out about something and I'll be like, that sounds interesting, and I'll put it on a list, or I'll record it, or I'll just whatever, and then when I eventually get around to it, I completely forget what it's about, and I just watch it, and I just sort of pick up what it's about as it goes on. Like for this, all I really remembered was Irving Welsh, comedy, James McAvoy. Like that's all I knew going into it. Which usually there's no problem with that, but I feel like this sort of tainted the experience. I feel like I've made two dirty jokes here, with me saying tainted, and what was the other one? I forgot what the other one was, but they're not intentional. I can't even. I'm gonna have to put that somewhere. There we go. I couldn't see if it was recording or not because I have cracks on my phone where the bubble was. But anyway, 10 Things I Hate About You, universally positive ratings. I watched it in the cinema because my local cinema decided to bring back this, Jaws, and Back to the Future. Anyway. Julia Stiles looks and sounds familiar, but I can't place her. Heath Ledger, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Daryl Chill Mitchell. I'm pretty sure Nicholas Braun would have been like 12 when they made this, and I don't remember there being any children. Gina Rodriguez would have been like 15, and maybe she could have been an extra, but I don't know. I really like it. I find it a bit weird that Heath Ledger has this, or I mean, it's basic, very similar haircut in this as he does in The Dark Knight, which is the only other thing I've seen him in. And to be honest, like, other than this and that, the only other thing I can think of that he's starred in is Brokeback Mountain. So it's kind of hard not to compare because, he's such a really good actor in this drama. What's he like in comedy? Also, I feel like he's sort of like, I don't want to say our generation's James Dean, because I feel like he's not really my generation, but just sort of the James Dean of our time. His character, I sort of like him, but I kind of don't, to be honest. I can't really. I don't know how to elaborate on that. I get that maybe they're trying to like say that just because someone looks this way doesn't mean that they are this way. So you spend a good bit of the film thinking that he's just some hardened criminal, mostly because they outright say it. When he is, and he's like this soft human. But it didn't feel right, to be honest. Also, his character, I hate to be the one to say this because it sounds so fucking like everything I hate, but he does seem a bit stalkery. The fact that he was like at her car when she was in the music store, or in the music store when she was in the music store, or in the library when she was in the library, just following her, and when she doesn't know, it's forgivable because it's a romance comedy, like it's fiction, But it just did seem a bit creepy. I think that's all I have to say. Oh, no, I'm not surprised it's based off Shakespeare. I love it when they do that, because the only problem I really have with Shakespeare is just the language. But I can't blame him for that, because it's just because he was born in the wrong time. Initial and final review. Calls. Universally positive ratings. Apple TV Plus original series awarded on Apple TV Plus, created by Fede Alvarez and starring Danny Pudi, Aubrey Plaza, Pedro Pascal, Judy Greer, Ben Schwartz, Lily Collins, Nick Jonas, Rosario Dawson, Louis King, Paul Walter Hauser, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Karen Gillan, Clancy Brown, Stephen Lang. Laura Harrier. I'm not surprised that there's this many celebrities in it. I think that's mostly just because they needed something to do in the middle of lockdown. Not to say that this is a bad show, because it isn't at all. It's just, and Nicholas Braun as well. It's just, if this were made pre or post lockdown, then there wouldn't be anywhere near as many celebrities in it. I was hoping to watch all of this in one go, or at least one day, but I couldn't be bothered, and then I was sick because I started on Sunday. I watched up to the one with Rosario Dawson, and then I didn't finish it until today. I was kind of hoping. I'm a bit disappointed by it, to be honest, because I seen the trailer and I thought that, because they got Fede Alvarez. This isn't just some random guy. Like, this guy directed Evil Dead remake and Don't Breathe, and he's gonna do Alien Romulus. So, say what you will about those films, this guy isn't an amateur, and they're all horror films, and so this is going to be outright horror, but it is going to have elements. So I was expecting that, because there's not much for him to actually direct other than, telling the people or the actors how to say their lines. The only thing he can really do is like all the visuals, and the visuals, they had some really good moments, but I feel like they were just sort of, for the most part, just sort of slopped together. It felt quite hopeful, to be honest. The fact that there are some people who didn't relent, like Mark and Nick Jonas's character and the captain, and I guess Dr. Wheating, for the most part. Yeah, that's all I have to say. The Crowded Room, mixed ratings. The fuck is up with all these mixed ratings today? Apple TV Plus, original, I watched it on Apple TV Plus. Tom Holland, Amanda Seyfried, Emmy Rossum. Carmen Ejogo? I don't know how to pronounce her name. I've been looking the watch list for a while because Emmy Rossum. And then when I seen Cherry, I was like, fuck yes, I need to watch more Tom Holland plus Apple TV. Which I never thought I would say I need to see more Tom Holland, but here we are. So I just want to get off my chest, his hair and that. I fucking love it. There were times where he was being bullied in the sort of traditional way that you would see in high school dramas and comedies and all. And when I was watching it, I kept thinking, this is so unrealistic. Bullies don't act like this anymore. But then I keep on having to remind myself, one, this takes place in the 70s, and two, it's based on a true. I think it's based on a true story. Loosely. So yeah. Shit. That was a spoiler for me. I mean, I kind of figured it with the fact that it's called the crowded room. I kind of had a feeling, but well, all I can really say is shit. Something I forgot to mention about the 10 things I hate about you is the cinematography of it. It kind of reminds me of Wes Anderson films just a little bit, which I really like. Also, I might have said this in my Rushmore review, but I'm not usually a fan of late 90s or early 2000s comedies. I feel like they all just sort of have a style that it brings me back to when I was 10 and I was waiting on my mum to get home from the shop because she was going to pick me up like Xbox Gold or something like that, which I would have got really bored on those days, and my entire life I've always just I keep on confusing boredom and depression, and even though I know that I get it mixed up, I still end up doing it because I was doing that when I was sick because I was really bored, but I kept on thinking of it as depression, which I don't know how I'm going to get over that. I feel like I haven't said enough about the crowded room, but I feel like I haven't said anything actually, but I don't know what to say. Just it's a bit slow and confusing, but it's enough to keep me going.